Who is liable for the dividends tax? Section 64EA tells us that. Now, please do pay attention to this and make sure that you understand this very well, especially when you're looking at things like liquidations. The knowledge here will affect us. The person who is liable for it is the person who is responsible for the ultimate payment. So, in other words, if SARS has to go to court, if the dividend tax was not paid, who is going to be the one that is going to have to pay it out of their pocket? The person who is liable is the one who suffers the loss, let me actually say it like that, of paying the tax. Now, if X Limited pays out a dividend of 100,000 rands, 20,000 of that goes to SARS, and 80,000 of that, this is now a cash dividend, goes to the shareholder. Who is liable for this? The shareholder. Why? Because who's out of pocket? X is still just paying 100,000 rands, but the shareholder receives only 80,000 rands instead of the 100,000 rands. So X Limited is not liable, but the shareholder is. Yes, X Limited is tasked by SARS to pay this across to them. So they must make the payment, but they're not the ones who suffer the loss. The shareholder does. Okay, now a dividend in specie. Okay, dividend in specie. See the logic here. So now X Limited, let's change it. Let's say X Limited is Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola gives a case of Coke as a dividend. Right, and I'm just thumb-sucking an amount here. Let's say it's 100 rands. Actually, let's say it is 48 cans times 4 rands a can, 192 rands. Right, case of Coke. Now, the dividend tax is still 20%. 192 times 20%. Let's say that's the market value, right? So 38 rands. Now, SARS shareholder. How much is SARS going to receive? 38 rands. How much is the shareholder going to receive? 192 rands, that full amount. Why? Because if you pay 100,000 rands like we just did now, and 20% of that goes to SARS, that's easy. You can take 20% of a rand amount. But you can't go to SARS and say, okay, there's 48 cans of Coke here, I'm going to give you 20% of the cans. So 48 cans times 20% is, let's say, 10 cans. Right, 10 cans. SARS doesn't want a can of Coke. Doesn't work like that. So you can't, if it's an asset in specie, you can't take some of the asset away from the shareholder to give it to SARS. You can't. So you just have to calculate the value, 38 rands, that goes to SARS, and the shareholder gets 192. So what's the difference here? Here the company wanted to pay 192 rands, but how much are they actually going to, what is going to be the effect on their financials, on their financial status? They're going to have to pay the 38 rands as well, so it'll be 230 rands. So who is out of pocket here? The company. So if it's a dividend in specie, the company is liable, and when it is a cash dividend, the beneficial owner is liable. Now, very important section also, section 64F. This tells us the situations in which there is no dividends tax payable. First up, section 64F does not apply to dividends in specie. It only applies to cash dividends. Section 64FA applies to dividends in specie. Okay. So section 64F, it says here in this case, if the beneficial owner of the share is one of the persons listed in section 64F, then there is no dividends tax payable. Now remember, who is the beneficial owner? Remember, we saw that definition. It is the person who is entitled to the dividends. So, X Limited pays 100,000 rands to its shareholder as a dividend. Now, 20,000 should go to SARS, and 80,000 should go to the shareholder. That we know. Now, we look at this shareholder here, the beneficial owner. So, shareholder, not correctly the right term really, beneficial owner. Very often they're the same, okay, but I want you to use the right term, beneficial owner. Now we look at this beneficial owner. If this is a natural person, let's say, you and me, then everything we've seen here applies. Everything you've studied so far. But now, if this is a South African company, this is the most important one, then there is no dividends tax. Then the shareholder, which is the South African company, will receive 100,000 rands. So if two South African companies pay to each other, or one company pays to another, so a shareholder, which is a South African company, there's no dividends tax. The reasoning behind this, guys, the idea behind it is that this shareholder, which is now a company, this is a company, has its own shareholders. And some of them will be natural persons. So when this company pays its dividend there, then there will be dividends tax. So the idea is that this 100,000 the company received, it could almost transfer across to its own shareholders, and then there'll be dividends tax. So, and this is why students and people always complain about SARS trying to take all your money. They don't always. Here they were saying we're not going to have dividends tax here and here then. So if you pay into a company, no dividends tax. If you pay a dividend to the government of South Africa, no dividends tax. If you pay it to a public benefit organization, no dividends tax. If it gets paid to a pension fund, provident fund, or any of these, no dividends tax. Nothing under Section 12T, which is your tax-free investments. And please, guys, look for the rest of them. There's things like Sandroll, for example. Most important, SA company, government, PBOs, pension funds. Those are the most important. Section 64FA is the one that applies to dividend in specie. Now, guys, basically how this one works is it says there will be no dividends tax on a dividend in specie if the beneficial owner, who is the beneficial owner, guys? Remember the person receiving it? If that beneficial owner submits a declaration that states that they would have been exempt from dividends tax under Section 64F if this was not a dividend in specie, but if it was a cash dividend. In other words, they say, I know we're paying out a dividend in specie, but let's pretend it was a cash dividend. Would it be liable for dividends tax, or is it one of these? If you say no, it's not liable for dividends tax, then it also won't be liable for dividends tax for the asset in specie, as long as the beneficial owner has submitted a declaration stating that. Right. Or if they form part of the same group of companies. Then also, guys, this is a rule also that says that dividends tax can be calculated at a lower percentage than 20% if there's a double tax agreement in place and it has been submitted. But that you'll be told in an example, in an situation. Then Section 64G, this runs hand in hand with what I just discussed. Okay, over here. When we discussed now, we said if X Limited pays a dividend to a company, there's no dividends tax. Now, this company, the beneficial owner, must submit a declaration to X Limited saying, hey, I am a company, please don't withhold dividends tax. X Limited, the reason for this is X Limited company does not necessarily know the identity of all of its shareholders. They don't know if it's a PBO, or if it's a national person, or it's a company. Those things might change. They also don't know if there's anything that affects that. So what the law says is this beneficial owner must submit a declaration to the company that says, hey, I'm a company, or hey, I'm the government, or hey, I'm a PBO. Please don't withhold dividends tax. If you do not have this declaration, then the company who is paying the dividend must withhold dividends tax. You can then go and claim that back from SARS. You'll have to approach SARS for it and explain the situation to them. There are rules for that, not as important for you guys, but please just be aware of it. It must be done. The company will say when must the declaration be submitted, and if they don't specify a date, then it must be before the payment is actually made. Then, there will be no dividends tax paid if it is made to a regulated intermediary. Okay, so let me quickly explain to you a regulated intermediary. A regulated intermediary is a person that stands between the company and the beneficial owners. One of the best examples here is probably something like a pension fund or a collective investment scheme. That's probably even better. So, let's actually use the collective investment scheme. You belong to a collective investment scheme. So how does it work is you and a bunch of other people put money into collective investment schemes. They take the money, the fund managers, they invest in lots of different companies. So who owns the shares? The regulated intermediaries. But what does the rule say? It says whatever dividend gets paid to the regulated intermediary will eventually go to the beneficial owner. Now, so understand again, can I just re-explain that? Let's say you and your friends take your money and you invest it in a scheme, a fund. That fund then takes your money and goes and invests in lots of different shares. Those shares earn dividend, they get paid to the fund, and then the fund gives you your share. Right, now they say, if this is the case, when the company pays to the regulated intermediary a dividend, there must be no dividends tax withheld. It's only when the regulated intermediary pays to the beneficial owners that the dividends tax must then be withheld. So SARS doesn't want to tax you here and tax you here. Otherwise, let me explain to you the following what would happen. Let's say the company gives 100,000 rands dividend to the regulated intermediary. 20% gets withheld. So this regulated intermediary now has 80,000 rands. Now it takes this 80,000 rands and gives it to the beneficial owners. So they take another 20% off that. So this 100,000 rands has been taxed twice, basically. They don't want that. So they say, no, if you give 100,000 rands here, there will be null tax, minus nothing. But when the regulated intermediary then receives 100,000 rands, it will withhold the tax there when it pays it across. Right, so section 64H is a section that talks about the regulated intermediary. And then section 64K, guys, this is the one that tells you when it must be paid. Important here, it must be paid by the last day of the month following the date on which it is deemed to have been paid. And remember, section 64E2 tells us when it's paid. It's always the earlier of when it's paid or when it becomes due and payable, except for a listed company who is making the payment of cash. That is when it is paid. Right, so remember, beneficial owner is liable for it if it is not a dividend in specie.